This maybe appears to be a normal Halo Edition Xbox, but I'm going to show you that this is anything but ordinary. Hello, this is Dr. Smitty, and I am showing off my original Xbox. It has a very similar setup to what the Xbox 360 has, but this is obviously original Xbox. You can play movies on here. Right now I have one movie on here. I'm still figuring out how to get it best set up on here. But yeah, you can watch movies on here through the MP4 or AVI setup. So yeah, you can watch movies on here. It goes up to 720i. You can play TV shows as well, obviously. Music. Huge Breaking Benjamin fan and a huge Ed Sheeran fan as well. So you can just pick your songs. I just threw a couple songs in there. Plays pretty well. Yeah, my daughter turned down the sound. All you have to do is do the right analog stick to turn it off. I'm just going to actually pause it for now. I don't even remember how to pause this, dang it. There it goes. Yeah, so get a little, here's some music though. But the most important part of this Xbox is the games. So I'm going to go into the games. This originally came with about 22 original Xbox games. And you can put a lot more because I got it modded through this guy on eBay. I'll put a link below. It came with about 20 games, so I added a bunch more. Got some really good titles on here. Super excited. It did come with Conker's Live and Reloaded on here. One of my favorite games I did get will be coming up soon. Had to redo Halo on here. It was Melwolf Chaos. Love that game. Love it. So it actually, the weird thing about it is the text or the subtitles are in Japanese, but the actual speaking is in English. So it's a Japanese game. If you get a system modded, it's definitely worth playing. But yeah, I got all these games on here, and you can add more. But it does come with 21,000 games on here, or more than 21,000 games. Since I added more, you just go to the emulators. 14,000 of the games is in this Mega Emulator pack. Has MAME, which is pretty sweet. Nintendo, Hypervision, Genesis, which is Genesis, I believe that's Game Gear, all the good stuff. Sega CD, PlayStation 1, which is actually a really cool surprise. The Nintendo 64 one, it does work. A lot of Nintendo 64 emulators aren't the best, and this one's still not the best. You can't really play two-player games. It does kind of like freak out when you do a two-player game, but for one player it works perfect. Coin Ops is definitely the one to go for. Super Nintendo, Atari, but yeah, Coin Ops is where all the good fun comes in. So I'll show that off in a second as it loads. But yeah, this system, you can mod it yourself. You can easily mod it yourself to get what you want on there, or for if you know the system, I'll leave a link below to where you can download this most recent Xbox Media Center download. These are the Xbox games that are also on here that aren't on the screen to show, but just showed it off. There's favorite games, and then I'm going to go back one more to actually go to the main screen. That's what me and my daughter mostly plays, is the console classics. There's action games, and then Fight Club, Mario, all this good stuff that you can go through and play. So that's pretty cool. Console systems will actually show you through the actual console systems. Capcom Fighters, which is very similar to these beat 'em ups, turning it off, and then back to the console classics, which I'm going to briefly show you guys. Don't want to make this video too long, but a bunch of really good games. ActRaiser, Batman, me and my daughter were playing that. I just got that recently too. Alicia Dragoon, I'm actually really excited to play that. Beyond Oasis, I just got that recently too, but there's a ton of games on here. Even with PlayStation 1 games like Chrono, or that's not PlayStation 1. There are PlayStation 1 games on here, though. Do Re Mi Fantasy, that's an import game that got translated. Earthbound, Earthbound Gem, I used to love that game back in the day. But yeah, there's a bunch of games. I'm trying to get to a PlayStation 1 game for you guys. Harvest Moon for Super Nintendo. There are a lot of Super Nintendo games if you did not know. Because that's honestly one of the better consoles. Alright, where's a PlayStation 1 game? It does do 64, and that's where I usually play my 64 games on here. Metal Gear Solid, there it goes. PlayStation 1 game. Show off. Does it even have handhelds and stuff like that? And it's actually really fun to play handhelds on a HD TV because this one is set up to do 720 through component cable, and when I got it modded, it did come with component cables. It's fun going through this. I had to explain to my daughter what a cute 'em up is, you know, because she's starting to get interested in gaming and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna restart this though, back to the screen, and show you what else it can do. This thing is wonderful. Again, I'll leave a link below to what you can do with this. This thing is just extremely impressive. And only, for me, I shipped them my Xbox and it cost, I believe, $75 to get it shipped to me. But yeah, there's, you know, you can do your system information. You can hook it up online. That's where I've been transferring games. So you can plug it in, or there's very few people that have the actual wireless for the Xbox, but you can do that, and that's actually one thing I'm looking forward relatively soon, is to get wireless on my Xbox. But yeah, once it's plugged in, you can get accurate weather to your location. I did set that up. Games, all that stuff, programs. I don't have that many actual programs, but there are programs that you can do. But yeah, instead of going through the My Games to get to the emulators, you can just press the emulators one to get to the emulators to show what it does. So yeah, it's extremely impressive system. I do still have a little bit of work to do on it, and you can customize it. There's a lot that you can do to it, so if I do any updates to this to show you guys how to customize it a little bit more, I will let you know. But yeah, this thing was more than worth it. $75 to get the option of 21,000 games in a system where you can put your videos and stuff on there if you want. It's definitely worth it. Again, like some of these games that came on it, like most of the games on this screen actually I put on there besides Conkers, Crash Bandicoot, Call of Duty 3, and Blood Rain. It did come with the Halos, did come with Crimson Skies. So it did come with a decent amount of games, but like I put most of the ones that are on here on there. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Comment below. Again, I will leave a link to where you can check it out yourself if you want to try to mod it yourself to get it to look like this. That's one of the beautiful things about the original Xbox, is that you can mod it, and it's actually really not that hard to do. You just need the pieces, which again only will probably cost you about $30 to do. And to get this specific Xbox Media Center, it does take a little bit of time. That's why I just had somebody do it myself, or themselves, because I like the mod, and you'll see that I do mod stuff, but this one was a little bit more complicated than I liked. But anyways, comment below. Let me know what you guys think of this amazing Xbox, because I am truly in love with this thing. Comment below. Until next time, this is Dr. Smitty. Make sure you guys get your Xbox on. Peace.